Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, since the start, it has been a complete mismatch, and we have just witnessed why there is a two-time heavyweight champion and Jake Paul. And look, to be honest with you, I give Jake Paul so much props for just taking this fight. Like, taking the fight against Anthony Joshua, the weight difference was crazy. The skill difference was crazy. Look, Jake Paul was running a lot of that fight. But, you know, Anthony Joshua got it done. And he clocked Jake with a clean as fuck punch. And as someone who's been following Anthony Joshua's career, and to see this fight even happen was insane. Like, seeing Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua. And, you know, people will say there's no pressure on Jake Paul because no one was expecting him to win. And when you're watching the fight, Joshua was frustrated. Jake Paul is trying his best, probably just to get it to go to points. But what you have to say is, you know, Joshua won. We all expected Joshua to win. The balls of Jake Paul. And if you watch his channel, you know for a fact, I do not like Jake Paul. I don't know Logan Paul, Jake Paul, all the Pauls. They're all fucking pricks. But to take this fight in the influencer boxing scene that we have now, where Misfits, for example, created by KSI, he's never had a fight even remotely as dangerous as this. Jake Paul took a Anthony Joshua fight, and you know what? For what he did, it wasn't so bad. He landed a few clean punches, but it wasn't the clean, absolute knockout that we probably wanted. You know, I was expecting Joshua to clean Jake Paul out, absolutely twat him, and just leave him on the canvas, knocked out. Jake Paul, you know, he was definitely hurt. Joshua hit him with an absolute punch. Wasn't knocked fully out, though. So, I don't know, you know, Jake Paul earns a load of money, shit tons of cash, you know, fought Anthony Joshua under his belt. He didn't expect to win, but he got a payday, and I'm sure this fight done absolute numbers. So, for the influencer boxing game, easily one of the biggest fights we have seen. Jake Paul KSI could probably top it, but we all know that's not going to fucking happen. Apparently, there's a weight dispute. Look, my honest opinion on KSI Jake Paul for Anthony Joshua. To me, that shows that he's not scared to fight a heavier fighter. Apparently, from what I hear from the KSI camp, is that they can't agree a weight to fight with KSI. I don't know if I believe that as much now. Seeing that Jake Paul fought Anthony Joshua, who was way heavier than him, way bigger than him, and way more skilled than him. Jake vs KSI, if I had to choose, I would still choose Jake. I don't think KSI beats Jake in a fight. Seeing Jake Paul lose Anthony Joshua was expected. First few rounds were cagey because Jake Paul was backing off. Once Joshua figured him out and got the distance right, it was just game over. Like, nothing else was going to happen. I do think influencer boxing, you have to give Jake Paul props for even taking the fight. If you got knocked out in the first round, a couple of punches, then you're like, okay, Jake Paul's embarrassed himself. I don't think he embarrassed himself. I think he did okay. Anyone here, you know, or any amateur boxer would not want to step in a ring with Anthony Joshua. And he did it and elevated influencer boxing with it. So I got to give him props. I have to, as much as it kills me. Because I've been talking about Jake Paul for years and his behavior and how he's just a prick. But, you know, you can't look at that and not have respect for the man for getting in that ring. We have an Andrew Tate fight tomorrow, but I really think for influencer boxing, the only thing that makes sense, Jake Paul, KSI, get it done, get it signed. It will be huge. You're going to make a shit ton of money, and everyone wants to see it. Like the video if you want to see it, because I know for a fact I want to see that fight. Going into the Anthony Joshua fight, everyone's expecting Joshua to beat him. Jake Paul's the upset. KSI Jake Paul, yeah, I would expect Jake Paul to win that fight. Honestly, I would. I dislike Jake Paul way more than I dislike KSI. In terms of activity and skill and technique, yeah, Jake Paul I think could take it. But I really think influencer boxing needs something like that. And once that fight happens, that's probably the pinnacle of influencer boxing. But let's at least make it happen for the fans and for the people. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought about the fight. I think we're all in agreement. We expected Jake Paul to lose. But like the video if you want that KSI Jake Paul fight. Thank you for watching. Until next time, fuck off.